it's a major problem. I bet that bitch Diana from Themyscira hit it. Speaking of 6'0" Diana, let's crush up some chips and roll around in the filth that is Wonder Woman 1984. WW84 was a follow-up to a not complete travesty, but still just okay, of a DCEU movie called Wonder Woman. Directed by, not good enough to direct Thor fucking 2, Patio Jenkins. Did I already call it filth? Oh, I did. Kind of putting the invisible cart before the horse there. Alright, that's enough of the invisible jokes. But I can't wait to tell you how much I hate this movie. Because I hate women. Because the only way this movie fails is rampant misogyny. It has nothing to do with your protagonist being a complete miserable bore to follow for over 2.5 hours. Gal Gadot is just mad bananas because we didn't like her Twitter sing. I know that the movie was filmed way before that. This isn't my first day being a worthless YouTube movie critic, but on the real, Gal Gadot seems completely uninterested in everything she does and says throughout the entire movie. Which might have something to do that instead of adding a new wrinkle to the character, you get a 12-year-old doing her own stunts to set up some flimsy morality theme. I will destroy you! They brought back the worst line from the original movie, and it ultimately culminates to nothing except her being like, I take my wish back! Which I never said out loud, but everyone else has to. But that's only when Chris Pine in his screen presence of a waterbed talks her into letting him sacrifice himself. Again? Why does her entire motivation lie with this fucking chode? Nothing else happens in this movie except their relationship, and it's drier than my chafed balls when I don't wear compression shorts. The cutesy flip of Diana introducing Trevor to a world that he's unfamiliar with would be a great callback. If it amounted to anything other than him hurting at a trash can, the symbol of this movie. Gal's not the only one that sucks though. Kristen the Wig is no Michelle Pfeiffer, and no one's gonna buy the Target lady as an ass-kicking villain, regardless of how much bad reused Cats CGI they plaster onto her and then stick her against a monotone background. A fucking gray character on a black background? Genius color scheme. Pedro needs to stick to getting his head crushed or hanging out with animatronics, as they seem to be the only projects worth getting him to put some effort into. In case I wasn't clear. This movie is a colossal fuck-up storm of prison ass. This movie sucked my balls, and because I have testicular torsion, that is not pleasurable. The shots, and especially the ones coupled with CGI, are beyond distractingly poor. It's like they took that really bad closing shot from the original, and then based every following shot off of that one. Golden Lasso of Truth erotically asphyxiating me. I wanted to like this movie, and I tried to. There was just nothing there. The movie predicated on relationships over action is fine if they establish anything meaningful. Diana and Barbara have one interaction where they get along, and then the rest is like, I don't know that bitch. The near non-existent action sequences are just as uninspired as the plot. But the part that chaps my dickies the most is the regression of this movie. Despite the reviews, the original wasn't perfect. Can anyone say duff? But this sequel feels like a sequel made in 2007 when they didn't know what the fuck they were doing. But I guess the DCEU rarely knows what the fuck it's doing. I love the entire aesthetic of the 80s throwback gimmicks need to fucking die. This movie had nothing to say, and everyone fucking knew how hollow the script was, and it shows in the finished product. Any professional giving this movie high praise was obviously paid off with the money that was supposed to be used on CGI. And no, it's not some Twitter hate bandwagon. It's just a poorly made superhero movie. Where were the defenses when Jonah Hex and the Green Lantern got dragged the same way? Uninspired, convoluted, visually ugly. Did I miss anything? If Hollywood keeps putting out movies like this, they deserve the incoming implosion. Fuck, I went long again. This movie is bad, but it can be worse. But not by much!